So without any further delay, I would like to introduce Ramesh Garu, who is going to share about more about the university and what sort of programs it offers, the academic requirements and the scholarships and other opportunities. Sir, we welcome you here. Please, can you explain our students?
And thank you so much, Sweta Garu. Hello,
Thank you, sir.
everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Team Oaks, for organizing this session, for giving me this opportunity to speak to your students and to letting me know, to give me this opportunity to speak to your students and giving me this opportunity to make them understand about the options what Roosevelt University is providing to international students. As Ms. Sweta mentioned, so we are one of the renowned universities in Chicago downtown. So you must have heard about Chicago. Chicago is one of the popular region for our South Indian students who are looking to explore their career options there in the Chicago region. And we are established in this region, and we are established in 1945. We are established on a social justice mission. So you must have heard about Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt is the former president, and Eleanor Roosevelt is the first lady of America. So she is the trustee of this university. So in 1945, group of 70 professors started this university to provide the quality education to the students in respect to the caste, creed, and gender. So this university motto is to bring the diversity and inclusion and equity. So since inception, that is since 1945, universities has been following the same principle. So we are a private and non-profit university. So started on a social justice mission. Roosevelt University has got multiple campuses in Chicago region. Again, both the campuses are based in Chicago itself. One is in downtown Chicago, which is center of the city. Other one is in Schaumburg. So it's just about 20-25 miles away from Chicago. And with the advantage with our campus is we are just about 40 miles away from two major international airport, that is O'Hare International Airport and Midway International Airport. University is offering 120 plus programs, both in bachelor's and graduate level. And we have a representation from 70 plus nation. And we have variety of clubs which are available for students. And we are also known for various sports options. So if at all students are interested to explore any sports, so we have at least a dozen sports available for students. So we are also known as Athletic University. So this is our downtown Chicago campus. So you know, right, Chicago is also popular for skyscrapers. We are also one among the skyscraper. So this is the vertical tower, the twin towers, where students will have everything like student housing, offices, labs, classrooms, fitness center, dining hall, theater, and we also have a theater in which at least 250 shows will be played every year. Yeah. So yeah. So since we are in downtown Chicago, this is also a great opportunity for students to have a dorm option or housing option in the campus. But again, it is not mandatory. But again, if at all the student wants to stay in the campus, they can stay in the campus. So as we're in downtown Chicago, students will have this 24/7 security. So as most of you have an idea, so Chicago is also one of the popular destinations, and it is one of the largest cities of USA and second business hub in USA. It has got two major international airport. Along with that, Chicago has also got many things for students to explore. Like there are 7,300 plus restaurants, 77 community areas, 200 plus cultural attractions, 550 parks. And Chicago has also got a beautiful 28 miles lakefront. So that is called Lake Michigan. And Chicago has also got at least 5,600 companies, out of which 30 multinational companies headquarters are located in downtown Chicago itself. So we are among these companies. So that is how the students will have exposure towards their career. As I've mentioned, we are offering 120 plus programs, right? Out of which most of the programs are STEM designated programs. Since STEM designated programs will give a 3 years OPT option to the students, we're also trying to promote STEM designated programs in various fields. So we have various programs available for students, that is MS Accounting, MS Actuarial Science, Computer Science, Cyber Security and Information Assurance, Business Analytics, Biotechnology and Chemical Sciences, Biomedical Science, Biology, health informatics, industrial organization psychology, mathematics, and MBA. All these programs are in graduate level, are the STEM designated programs. And we also have got a good options in undergrad level too. So that is actuarial science, biotechnology and chemical science, biology, biochemistry, chemistry, computer science, cyber security and information security, data analytics, information technology, mathematics management, and systems management. So these are the STEM options available for students in undergrad level. Of course, we also have other popular programs in non-STEM category, that is hospital and tourism management, real estate, human resource management, marketing communication, public administration, clinical psychology, and many more. And we also have nursing in undergrad level too. So most of the students will actually look for these programs in non-STEM category. So yeah, as a university is offering variety of programs, so this is a great opportunity for students to explore diversified programs what we are offering. So especially programs like actuarial science and industrial organizing psychology, MBA, biotechnology, biomedical science, and we also have health informatics. Yes. Our requirements are very simple and moderate. Typically, we accept all the students. So GRE, GMAT are optional for us. But again, SAT, ACT is also optional for most of the undergrad program, except for BS nursing. So whereas BS nursing requires SAT or ACT. Apart from that, BS nursing, none of our undergrad programs require SAT or ACT. Of course, most of our grad programs do not require GR and GMAT. We accept all English proficiency exams. So that is TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, PTE. If it is TOEFL, student should have 80. If it is IELTS, student should have 6.5. If it is Duolingo, student should have 110. If it is PTE, student should have 55. And we are not considering the individual bands. So this is an advantage. Yeah, so our application process is also very simple. You can submit, or student can submit an application from our website. It takes hardly 7 to 10 minutes to fill up that application. VESI is not required. We are waiving the application if a student is submitting through application through our one of our associates. So VES would be waived. And there is no application fee for undergrad, but again, there is an application fee for graduate students. And we accept all Indian transcripts, and we also accept 15 years degree, mostly in AKE, but again on a case-to-case basis we can also take a call. Most of the programs do not require additional documents. Very few programs like psychology and MBA, other programs do not require the other documents like SOP, LORs, resume. So only psychology, MBA may require SOP and two letter of recommendation. But apart from those two programs, another programs really require SOP, LORs, and resume. And we have a I-20 deposit of $200, which is a refundable if in case student drops his plans or visa gets rejected. And our admission, our process is very simple and we are very fast too. So we will give the admission decision most in 7 to 10 working days. You can also give a commitment to the student that you can get admission from our university mostly in 7 working days, and we'll do our best to live up to your expectation, and we'll try to get you the decision mostly in 10 working days. We're also offering scholarship to the students. So we have some merit-based scholarships available to students. Who has anything above 3.5 will get a $7,000, $7,500 scholarship, and who has anything above 3 GP on the scale of 4 will get $2,000 scholarship. And we're also giving a scholarship in grad level. So students who has anything above 3 will get $1,000 scholarship. But again, for this intake, our department is also providing a special scholarship to students who are applying for MS accounting. So students who are applying for MS accounting will get $3,000 scholarship apart from this $1,000 scholarship. Yeah, so I think I also have to discuss about a tuition. So most of the students must be thinking, what would be a tuition? So since we're a non-profit university, a tuition is moderate. Typically, for most of the programs or any of the programs, a tuition ranges from $19,000 to $22,000 if it is a grad and undergrad. So most of the programs fee ranges from $19,000 per annum to $22,000. I think we are only the university who are in downtown Chicago who has the moderate tuition like this. So our tuition is almost equivalent to the state universities. Since we are a non-profit university, tuition is moderate. So typically students can finish their master's degree mostly in $38,000 to $40,000. Most of the programs. For example, computer science, cyber security, health informatics can be finished in $38,000, whereas business analytics or biotechnology can be finished in $41,000. And most of the undergrad programs, their tuition cost per annum is going to be anything between $20,000 to $22,000. And most of the undergrad programs are of 4 years. So most of the undergrad programs are of 120 credits, whereas graduate program credit varies. So for example, computer science is of 30 credits, cybersecurity is also 30 credits, business analytics is of 33, health informatics is of 36, biotechnology is of 36, biology is of 30, biomedical science is of 27 credits. So of course, tuition fee always depends on the number of credits what a student choose per semester. But typically, an average tuition cost could be anything between $18,000 to $22,000 for any of the programs in our university. So here I am. So these are my contact details. I can be the point of contact to all your students, to all your staff. So if in case you have any questions with regards to the admission criteria or application process, or if you want to follow up on any of the students' application, you don't have to hesitate. You can always be in touch with me. I can be your point of contact. I'm so excited, and I'll be so happy to assist you all in the further process. We are still accepting applications for fall 25. You can submit the application up until maybe May end. But again, the sooner the better, because visa slots are going to be available soon anytime. So by that time, you should be able to have the admission decision and I-20. That's it. Kindly let me know if at all you have any questions.
So does Roosevelt offer any PhD programs, sir?
Sorry, Swetagara. We have a few PhD programs, but again, we are not taking any of the international students for those programs.
Okay.
So yeah, so PhD programs are not available. So we have some programs like psychology and all, but taking. We
Okay,
are not
you're
taking
not
international
taking in.
students.
Okay.
Yes,
Sir,
yes.
yesterday we had a query like there is a student who has done like bachelor's in anesthesia.
Oh, bachelor.
Can we recommend any program that, any
Bachelor's
related
anesthesia. But none of our programs actually related to medical.
medical? Okay.
Yeah, so since he's done that program in anesthesia, so would you be interested to go for biomedical science? Because the advantage with the biomedical science, if a student goes for a
Yeah.
biomedical science, he can also see themselves as a physician assistant. They can
So
train themselves for physician
this
assistant.
particular bachelor's student
And
can go for biomedical sciences
uh,
because this.
I yes, if at all student has studied chemistry and biology as part
Yeah.
of their curriculum in their bachelor's. So you
Okay.
can just suggest him this program and ask him to go through our program curriculum and the department also clearly mentioned the admission requirement and the prerequisites what a student should have in order to get admission into that program. So let's
Yes.
ask him to go through the program curriculum so that he'll get an idea. So if he thinks that that is the right program or that, so if he thinks that that program matches with his requirement, probably we can help him in getting the admission.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Guys, any questions?
Guys, if you have any questions, please, you can just ask, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sir. Good evening. This is Rekha. I want to know, as you told, students are eligible to get merit scholarship in case they have, you know, equal to 3.0 or above that. So, other than merit scholarship, is there any other, financial aid assistantships available for international students?
Yeah, we have a lot of financial aid uh, programs in our university, but again, unfortunately, none of the international students would be qualifying for those financial aids because these students would be submitting a financial document to request an I-20 from the university, right? So as part of the process, they'll be submitting a financial document. So as until unless they submit that financial document that they are financially stable and they have enough funds to pursue their graduation, university will not be giving the I-20. So that's how these students will not be qualifying for the need-based scholarship. But again, at least 35% of our students are studying on a financial aid on a need-based scholarship, unfortunately, but none of the international students are qualified for it. So students really do not have to worry about the scholarship because our tuition is already low. So you must have heard about DePaul University, who are just adjacent to our university. So their tuition is about $35,000 to $40,000 per annum average tuition, and and then they'll try to give you a scholarship of maybe 5,000 or 10,000 per annum. Still, student end up paying $30,000 per annum, whereas our tuition is just less than $20,000 per annum. So our total tuition cost is equivalent to their 1 year tuition cost. So yeah, so universities which are in downtown Chicago are costly, but we are not.
Okay. So how about this research assistantship and graduate and teaching assistantship?
We have those options as well, but again, they're all competitive, as you all know. Most of the students are getting, but it's not guaranteed that all the students who enroll will get. So it depends on the student and their profile, what kind of rapport they are building with the faculty and department chair. So based on their rapport and relation, they'll be getting these opportunities. So we have part-time options available for the students. We also have GA options available at the campus. So yeah, at least a dozen students in every intake will get these opportunities. Again, it
Okay.
varies if at all they get a GA option. So sometimes the tuition will be waived, sometimes they'll get both stipend and tuition, or sometimes they'll only get stipend. So it depends on the department and under the faculty where they are working.
Okay. Sir, my last question is like, as you mentioned, like, that university do have a program like PhD in psychology. So, like to apply for that program, student should have same relevant qualification in the bachelor, or otherwise, non-relevant bachelor degree student also can apply for PhD in psychology. Like, because I have one case, student is interested for psychology, but his master is in engineering management from UK.
Yeah. So technically, and these are less professional programs. So until unless students have studied the basic courses during their bachelor, they might not be able to cope up during their masters. So even for our master's program, so if at all, in order to get an admission to psychology or clinical psychology, industrial organized psychology, students should have studied the psychology courses during their bachelors. So it's even for graduate programs, the psychology courses are mandatory. But as the psychology courses are mandatory for graduate program, definitely for sure it is mandatory for PhD programs too. And
Okay,
the students
but
should have.
sir,
Hmm,
yes, sir, yes, sir.
yeah. So, but the student, since a student is applying for the PhD program, they should have done a lot of research and a similar field. They should be able to submit the thesis. So based on that itself, they'll get an admission. So it is not that easy indeed to get an admission into PhD programs as an international student.
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, there is a question in the chat.
Mhm.
What are the job prospects for STEM graduates?
Oh, good question. See, if you look at the labor bureaucrats of Chicago or United States, so IT is expected to grow by another 7%. So these are the temporary hurdles what students are facing there in the United States. But again, IT always has this boom. IT always have the opportunities. So this is why US always encourages international students to come and study IT and explore with their companies. So that is how they are providing a 3 years OPT option to the students. So you can just in uh, Google about it and try to get the accurate information. I request not to fall in trap of this news and which have been telecast, especially in local media. Actually, those are not facts. So the U.S. government and Mr. Trump's administration is very clear in terms of STEM programs, in terms of students visas. So they are very clear. So they are not against to students who are coming and studying and want to explore these STEM OPT options, but they are only against to those who are trying to settle in their country illegally, who are not maintaining the status. But students will not have any options. Students will not have any challenges, and definitely students will have options. That is why. So if you look at the statistics of students going to USA, so every year they have a standard statistics, like every year at least 70-80,000 students will fly to USA for their education, and at least 50,000 students will be picked in H1B. So if you really think that if there weren't any job opportunity, why do all these students will go to USA? Why aren't the students coming back to India? So it is not the case. Students who have the skill set and will always have the opportunities. Because the domestic students generally they don't prefer to study STEM programs. They rather prefer to study other programs like management, science, maybe arts, but not these STEM courses. Only the Asians, especially South Indian students, prefer to study STEM programs. And as the 25% of the world's revenue is generated in the USA. So as USA has got many IT companies, many IT establishments, many investments there. So there are huge requirements for the IT professionals. That's how US has been the popular destination among the IT professionals. So say if you are an IT student and planning to have a great career, I think US is the best option. But again, so but again, right, these days actually this information has been scattered. Students have been misguided in the last 2 to 3 years. But again, if you look at the students and US going students attitude, so students US going student attitude has been the quality education. So they never focused on other things. They rather wanted to have a quality education first, because they had a long-term plans. So right, you can also Google about it. So an average package for any IT graduate or any IT professional would be anything between $70,000 to $120,000 per annum. So if you're a skilled employee and wants to have a career in IT, I think US is the best option. You can compare this. So until unless I think you know about it already. So until unless a country has the companies, has the investments in IT, can't really have the job opportunities for the students. And US is only the country which has huge investments, which has huge company, and there are a lot of opportunities available for students. But just that we have to ready with the skill set. So you as a student have to understand the market dynamics, and accordingly you should shape your profile. You should develop your skill set so that you would be hired by the companies. So this is how the professional world works, right? So yeah, without skill set, we can't really expect to be hired by someone. I think there are a lot of questions.
Sir,
So Shweta garu,
yeah.
can you please read out
Yes,
for
sir.
me?
So, does Roosevelt have partnership with tech companies for placements?
See, technically, you also have to understand each university, especially we. So we have a career service team, career service department, which will be working closely with the students. So their job is to bring the companies to the universities and create that platform to the students, so that student will understand the average requirement of the respective professions, and accordingly student can shape their profile and they'll get the opportunities. Yeah, of course, we have MOUs with the companies as well. The whole idea of mentioning this point is, generally in US universities never promote the placements. For them, education is a service, so they always try to or thrive to provide the quality education students as per the standards, so that student will get the opportunities. So it's just that how, as a student, you are going to make use of that services and facilities in order to get the placement.
So, the other one is, how does the university help students with internship and job placements?
Yeah, so as we have career development cell, which will be working with the companies. So they will be working with the company. That is their their no responsibility. I mean their KRA. So their job is to get the companies to the campus and bring the so that students can do the internship with the companies. That's how they'll get the full-time employment too.
Then the next question is, how safe is Chicago campus and what are the security measures that are in place?
Yeah. So see, first of all, US is safe place, but again, yeah, unfortunately, there are here and there some things are happening So that is unusual. But again, it's very unfortunately we have seen some of the cases have been noticed across USA. So only one thing you have to understand is US is full of immigrants. Okay, and it's a gun-free country, and of course, so drugs are also legal there. So considering this, so some no things will happen here and there. Doesn't mean the overall USA is not safe. If that is the case, uh, students generally don't no stand in queue for the visas. Okay, so but again, as an international students, it is our responsibility to make sure that we are not until unless we are familiar with the location. You guys are not coming out during the odd times. So if you closely observe, so whatever is happening with the students or with anybody, maybe the gunshots, all this. So if you observe, these things are these incidents are occurring during the midnight only. So these students were doing part times during the midnight, maybe at 11:30, 12. So during that time, if you come out alone, that would be a challenge. So but again, none of us will expect you to be out during that timings. So it's better you be in your rooms, and it's better you come out, you don't come out alone, at least until unless you are familiar with the uh, surroundings. So initial first semester, because see, you are going to a country where everything is new. So everything is new there, like the food, the culture, people, weather conditions. So until unless you are accustomed to the situation, it's better you try to be with the group, and try to focus more on the education, at least in the first semester. Maybe from second semester onwards, you can explore outside for the part times, or even you can work in the campus as well. But again, so I advise not to work outside the campus, especially during the odd timings. So as long as you are clear and you follow these uh, safety measures, I think US is safe. So I myself been to USA 2 times. So of course, even in Vijayawada, Guntur, Vizag, Hyderabad also, we generally don't prefer to come out during the odd times, because we know, so it is not safe, or it's not required also. Why do we have to really come out during the odd times, and want to have issues?
There's another question, sir. Are there student organizations or clubs for networking and career growth?
Yes, and we have 70 plus clubs available in the campus. That's
Oh,
what. So there
that's
are university provides variety of opportunities and options. It depends on the student, how student will utilize them.
okay. And what kind of support services are available for international students, like visas, health, counseling, and everything?
See, are you talking about the services after the visa or before the visa?
No, after the visa, sir. Like what? Like there are. They say that International Student Service Committee
Hmm.
provides a lot of support for the international students. So they meant that sort of support, like with the resume
Of course,
building,
we have
health.
a separate team. So we have variety of team, and so one team will be working with the students on building their resume, and creating that opportunities, so that they can get job opportunities with the companies where we are having an MOU with. And we also have another department called the Office of International Services, which will be working closely with the students, especially on post study. So that is activating their CPT, and maintaining their OPT status. So, and providing them with the travel I-20s, or providing them with the sponsored I-20s, or dependent I-20s. So we have, yeah, separate departments. We'll be working closely with the students.
Why should I choose Roosevelt over other universities?
Good question, Andy. Yeah. So see, any student who is planning to come to USA has to consider few things. See, US is very big country, 5 times bigger than India, and their population is just 30 crores. And since most of the students are going for STEM designated program, right, companies, the corporate companies and companies are based in cities only. So not entire USA, or not all cities are same as Chicago or New York, maybe California. So only cities will have the companies, will have the facilities. So as an international students should always prefer to go to a city. So if you go to a city, you have variety of options. First, the accommodation, you will have easy access, and transportation, you'll have easy connectivity. So that is more important as an international students. So as an international students, so I don't want to be in a desert where I don't have any transportation facility. So I can't really rely on uh, cars. So I can't really book cab every time. So if I have to book a cab for every ride, so I may have to incur at least $50. So so as intra students, I don't want to do that. So I want to be in a place where the connectivity is good. For example, the Roosevelt University is in downtown Chicago. So you can get an accommodation option mostly in 3 to 5 miles radius. And so the moment you step out of the campus, you can catch a bus and metro train. And with a 3 to 5 minutes wait time, you get either of them, either bus or train. Within a 10 minutes drive, you'll go to your accommodation options. It's very convenient for travel. So as an entrance student, that is what I should consider. It has to be very convenient for travel. And second thing, city. As we are in city, you have variety of options, because as an entrance student, the purpose of going to USA is to explore along with the studies. Of course, university provides the quality education. You have great faculty, great infrastructure. So yeah, uh, teaching methodology and everything. You have everything in place. But along with that, what else you can explore as part of your study? So as we are in the city, you are among the corporates. So you always among the people who are active, who are actively working on ground. So that motivates you, and along with that you'll have variety of sports options. And of course, as a human being, we always want to do other things as well, right? Like entertainment. So you have that in Chicago. And a third thing is the budget. So we are one of the universities, tuition is moderate, and you can finish the typically student can finish their graduation in less than $40,000. I'm talking about the overall tuition cost. So typically students should consider these things. I think we have this. We are in downtown Chicago, tuition is moderate. We have variety of programs, students do not have to compromise. So as we are in downtown Chicago, it's very convenient for student to travel and get the accommodation. I think this is why the student should to consider Roosevelt University or other universities. And
So,
there is also a myth that since we are in downtown Chicago, the cost of living is going to be high. Actually, not. The an average cost of living for any student is going to be anything between $300 to $500 per month. So most of the students who are staying in Illinois or Chicago will stay outside of Chicago, which is where they have places called Prairie Shores, Lake Meadows. These are the huge student accommodation options available for students. So all the students, irrespective of the university, they stay in these options. And this location is just 5 miles radius, or five to 7 miles from the campus. So and so two BHK is costing them anything between $1,800 to $2,200 a day. So two BHK generally can be shared by 6 students. So that's how the average living cost can come down to $350 to $500, including their food cost.
so does university have any backlog restriction?
Typically, we are not considering backlogs, but again, we generally we don't want to encourage students who have more backlogs. So case to case basis. So as long as student has anything above 65%, if he has maybe 5 or 7 backlogs, that's fine. We will accept. But student has more backlogs, maybe 25, 30, then on a case to case basis, we have to decide.
So here I have another question. Suppose if the student is having around like 75 to 80%,
Hmm.
but for some students, the Duolingo, 1 point is lesser, like for 105, where the university requirement is suppose for 110. He has only 105. Is there any possibility that the university can consider his undergraduate scores and get him admitted with the
No,
help of
generally,
an
yeah.
MOI
So
as an attachment?
no, generally, we do not offer the admission based on MOI. But
Okay.
again, so it happens with the students, right? Due to some nervousness, they might not be able to perform well, though they have potential.
Exactly. So that is the reason.
So for such students, yes, we are accepting applications. We will give the admission decision even for students who has 105. But though we need 110, we are giving the admission on only one understanding. It is only an understanding between the university and student.
Okay.
So the understanding is we'll give the admission. We don't want him to retake the test and submit the score so that we'll review and give the admission. So we don't want to wait him that long. We understand student has to deal with other process also like visa and service fee payment, visa slot booking and everything. So that is why we'll give the admission. We'll give the admission. There is no condition at all. It's a direct admission, but only an understanding between the student and universities. The student is expected to submit the updated score before the class start date. Yeah,
Okay.
after the visa. Yeah.
Okay. When he comes
After
to, by the time he comes to the university, he has to submit it.
submit, yes, he has to retake the test and has to make sure that he's submitting 115 of Duolingo. So that is
This,
only an understanding.
yes, sir. Yes. But this is a kind of opportunity for somebody who could not crack the test actually.
Correct. That is why that is the whole idea of giving this option to the student.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope all the questions are over. Guys, any more questions? Sir, I hope all the questions are done.
Sure. Anil. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, for taking your time and sharing us all the knowledge about the university. This is like very helpful for the students to understand about the university, the current scenarios, and the kind of job prospects they have. So thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, sure. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
looking
Thank
forward
you.
to speak to your students again. So let us know if at all the team and the students have any questions with regard to the application process. And you, of course, you have my contact details as well.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, let me know. Thank you so much for the
Thank
opportunity.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye. See you.